And that'll be the headline everywhere.
But my whole point on the whole thing is how, when I even say having sex with a girl and R. Kelly comes on shuffle, I'm saying that this person is so big. He's been making music from 89.
Yeah.
To eliminate him from your life, it's difficult. It's different if we said cancel Danny Kaye. No one has even checked their phone. R. Kelly is a different beast.
Welcome, people. This is the Full Story Podcast. Your host, Kensei, Funqui, and Richelieu B. Bonwa. What does the second B stand for?
What does the B stand for?
Is it Bonwa Bonwa?
Richelieu B. Bonwa. It's just Richelieu Bonwa. It's just long.
Yeah, man, this is a new podcast. Our focus is music, entertainment, and comedy. Richelieu B being one of our top SA comedians. Yeah. In SA.
Emphasis.
Yeah, in the emphasis.
on top.
And for our first show, our inaugural episode, we have South African comedian royalty.
Yeah,
you know?
Royalty,
my man. You know, let's put the pressure on.
Here's the crown.
And we didn't have to pay him to come, so the shit is good.
That's what you think.
In the back end. Where's my petrol macho? Robby Collins is here on the Full Story. Welcome, my brother.
Thanks for having me, gents.
Thanks so much for pulling in.
I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous.
All the jackets.
Because it looks professional.
It's very professional.
Even Richelieu was nervous, chain smoking. We came.
I don't even smoke. I started smoking.
If you can't tell already, there's going to be a lot of shit being talked, being spoken, being talked. I went back to Newlands.
It's apartheid. We blame apartheid for these type of heroes.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk. This is not an interview. It's just a conversation, bro.
No flop.
That's how we go.
Are you allowed to swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay. That's always your first question. Are we allowed to swear? Are we allowed
all the interviews are first he swears. Then he says,
just double checking.
I want to start off, bro, with the question. What questions are you tired of hearing in interviews?
How is Trevor Noah?
How does he know?
Now that you mention it.
Do you hear that in almost every interview, bro?
Everyone. Because it's still in my bio.
Oh, shit.
So, you know when you...
What's in your bio? Trevor's bra?
Like opening act for Trevor. So then that's the first thing that catches the eye. So people ask about Trevor before they ask about Chappelle.
And Chappelle is Chappelle.
But Chappelle's also like, it's a very big timeline difference on your bio, obviously. By the time they forget, they're like, oh shit, there's also Chappelle in the bottom here.
Yeah, so... but I don't find it I don't get offended. It's just one of those things because people are trying to make you sound hot to the listener.
Yeah.
So
it's a clickbait.
Yes, that's pretty much what it is.
But shouldn't bro, for all that you've done so far?
Yeah.
We should be past that. I feel like it shouldn't be. Oh, this is Robby that opened for Trevor and then opened for Dave. It should be Robby. Yeah. Oh, and by the way.
But have you formulated like the standard answer, or are you?
Usually I'll just tell people he's cool. Still speak to him, still chat to him. Like, I was meant to see him now, but I had gigs when he was here
for
the tennis thing. And I was like, I'm getting paid. I can't go. I can't go watch my friend who's getting paid.
You lose money.
That's a crazy concept of when you watch your friend get paid, like just standing in Pick and Pay, like, this bra's killing it.
I could have been earning too, but anyway, I'm here.
But it's cool. I don't really mind. Like I'm joking when I say I get pissed off. It's more when I opened for Trevor, I was sleeping on a couch in Melville.
Shit.
That first tour helped me buy a bed, a fridge. So I can't be angry at a person who helped out my career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you won't be angry at them. You get a little bit annoyed by the interviewers who are like, this is the standard stuff.
Yes,
for every interview you go for, what's up with media? Like,
but I think as Trevor's status grows, also the gravity of the question also grows with that, right? Because like at the beginning, you're talking about Daywalker time when you were, and
now it's the Daily Show.
Now it's the Daily Show.
Yeah,
so
now it's...
When are you going on?
When I go there, I go and hang out. The truth is, with the show like The Daily Show, and I've even spoken to Trevor about it, The Daily Show isn't a show I'd want to work on. I would, because the money's there, but it's not a dream of mine. I'd rather be on SNL.
Yeah.
And I worked on late night news with Loyiso Gola.
Didn't you get nominated for an Emmy or something?
Yeah, we got nominated.
An Emmy, bruh. Emmy Award. That's fucking huge.
You also got fired.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I got fired on my birthday, bruh. We were just getting tired of. We were kids. It was myself, Loyiso Gola, his own brother. I was more worried about that than myself.
That's a relationship that needs to be questioned.
And then, yeah, but look, we weren't in the right headspace for it.
Okay.
It was a comedy show, but it was very serious, and I think we were just trying to do different things at the time.
Yeah.
So then they emailed all of us, and then we all messaged each other like, let's go for a drink. Then late on in the night when everyone's drunk, like, yo, brother, fine. Like, me too.
They buy you all by email. One
email each.
Everyone CC them. What are you saying, Rich?
No, I'm saying so for like that's crazy because like you're all working and it's like you're saying the Daily Show's work because it's every day and it's constant research and
it's
like
massive.
And the late night was also the same because I remember you used to sit in the room there in Bram somewhere.
Yeah. You came through the room and it was hectic. Like the Daily Show when I've gone there, they'll sit in the morning at 9 a.m. until like 11. And then they'll figure out what pieces they want to do. Then you write the thing. Then you have a person who works within the news to check if you're not just making jokes about things in your head, like see if it's
factual. Okay.
So I was like, I know
too much work.
This is never actually. Now I'm back in grade 10
doing homework.
And okay, no, besides the question that you may get tired of, what's some of the worst questions you've been asked, if you can remember? In an interview?
I can't remember, bruh.
How does it feel being a braino?
Something like that. There's a lot of those. How do you feel being colored in the industry? Yeah.
Wow. Because we don't get... Because colored is a different term in people's minds. Like people, like we're from Durban, right? We're all from Durban. So for us, we think we know what colors are. But if you go to Cape Town, it's a different thing. If you go to Escorts, it's a different thing. So...
Yes, exactly. But I think that's my problem in the industry. Being a person of color, is that they make you gravitate to the idea they think you are.
Yeah.
So if you colored, you can't just be. I'm gonna just be a colored guy like this. I need to be that Cape colored guy that they keep selling the country.
Yeah.
So for us, we were like, yo, we don't know Afrikaans. We don't talk like
and they don't understand that. They don't understand that we were not colonized by the Dutch.
No.
We were colonized by the English, and that's why Afrikaans is not in our CV.
But I always wonder why we were so opposed. Like for me, I was opposed to Afrikaans. Not opposed, but like I didn't like it because in school, I was like, why are they teaching me this thing?
Yeah, that's the colonial thing. They put in your DNA.
But I think you also inherit the fact that maybe our forefathers didn't like Afrikaans or our parents or something. So
because there was a war, I suppose, between the Dutch and the English.
But in Durban, white people don't even touch Afrikaans.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think it goes down to that level where the English and the Dutch were fighting. It wasn't like, hey, brah.
So somebody won Durban. So Benjamin the Urban.
You see. So now the English were like, no, fuck all these Afrikaners. We don't want them as part of our culture.
I found out recently that English people historically have been very racist to Afrikaan white people.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
That's what I mean. It's
like they've got their own beef going on.
Yeah, their intercultural beef amongst themselves.
That's crazy, bro. So our first inaugural topic for the full story is for 2020. It's only February. It's like the second week of February, and so much has happened. And it's the month of love, but a whole lot of drama has happened so far.
Yeah.
Not just in SA, but in the world. Like January has been action-packed.
It's been a long year.
So what we want to do is we want to do a wrap-up of 2020 so far. So for you, Robby, what stories have stood out for you so far since the beginning of the year?
I think Kobe's death was hectic.
Is it?
Just
for you personally?
For me personally, because when I was getting into basketball, Kobe started playing in 96. I was 9. So Richelieu was one. Pushing 35.
Richelieu was 35 in 96.
I've aged well.
You have, bruh.
No, this man has age, bro. but now that I've found out his real age, I'm like, you childish.
He's supposed to wear a tie to gigs.
And he refuses. He refuses. Even if they ask, please wear formal, why?
Yeah,
I'm the act.
Funny, last night they wanted us to wear smart casual to the gig.
No,
I'm like, bro, you gonna tell me what to wear?
You were at Ellison Fifth.
Yeah.
I did a thing last week or the week before. I wore exact same clothes. I was like, you mad, bro?
Why are they trying to
I might
force...
want to do something after this gig. I'm walking around in square toes.
Is it a private function or is that
No,
the
it's
dress
a
code
normal
for the
gig.
venue?
They're trying to make the gig seem like fancy and stuff, but it's like, I'm the talent. I don't need to do that thing, bro.
Because I had the same argument. Like if you invite Michael Jackson to a gig, you come like, yo, wear a suit.
Yeah,
Well, he's gonna wear a Michael Jackson glove and the funny thing, like that's how he
You
dresses.
come with a suit, just not what you think.
Suit will be on the sideways, whatever, gold.
But how did...
The Kobe thing was
Yeah.
big because that's when I first started like really noticing, start finding idols. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So Kobe was one of them, Michael Jordan, David Beckham. So like the Kobe thing, like you follow a career. And then also the man just retired not so long ago, like 3 years ago. And he was very active. And then I think also the daughter passing along.
Which is very, very sad.
Yeah, so it's, and all the others who passed away. But I'm saying like that was just, that stuck out more.
Yeah.
But did you notice like when Kobe passed away, like there was this whole thing on social media where people are all doing the condolence thing and posting pictures. And then there was like 50% of those people are like, yo, you don't know anything about basketball, you never followed him. And
Black
then,
Twitter, bruh.
but it's not specific, it's like, everywhere.
I saw a lot, which I think is very inconsiderate because the thing is, I don't like Barbara Streisand, but I know Barbara Streisand and I know how important she was to music and
And
film.
a lot of people
You know what I
personally
mean?
as
Like
well,
you
yeah.
can still respect
I have a Barbara Streisand tattoo now.
you can still respect the genius and hard work of
Yes,
a person
exactly.
without ever watching an NBA game.
Yeah.
You know, that means he's actually more special. He or she is more special because
The impact to the person that
impact
doesn't really follow you.
to know Kobe Bryant and you've never watched one game of sports.
And
But you know.
But yeah, because like imagine the energy of that person now, like, oh, should Robby never watch this basketball? Let me go and tweet at him. Robby, you don't even know Kobe.
And
Why you?
I think it's the age that we're in, bruh.
I felt like that when Nate Dogg died. Like, I didn't know there's so many Nate Dogg fans. I'm like,
Right.
yo, I didn't know there's so many of you.
For real.
Yeah, bruh, when Nate Dogg was, it's very similar to Kobe. Every single person on my timeline, on every single social media, were like, yo, Nate Dogg, yo, Nate
But
Dogg. I didn't go into
for
the
a
hate.
big part, it does become a trend, especially in the social media age for clout and stuff like that. For a lot of people, it's trendy
They
to...
wanna just show that they know.
Yeah, like, I know. And then you ask, hey, what Nate
your
Dogg song do
favorite
you know?
Nate Dogg song? Hold
One.
up.
They'll know maybe one or two, you know?
Yeah.
No, totally. But it's so yeah. I think that one.
But it's fame. I guess it's the price of fame. Like they always speak about the price of fame. I guess that's it. Like you don't have to be involved in the thing. But if you don't know Kobe Bryant and you don't, where have you been? Literally, like
Right.
Because it's past just basketball. He is an international icon
exactly.
per se,
So
you know.
it's got a movement.
So did you see that the story with Ntiki? On Twitter? I know you're not on Twitter, but
No, I don't care.
I know. I know. So you know, Ntiki's always got something to say. So she was one of those that were like, "Oh, but this is South Africa, you know. You guys don't even know basketball and blah blah blah." So she was putting water on shit. And then Robert Marawa came back and hit her with a 1-2 combination, and she was quiet after that.
I love Robin Marawa, bro.
But
Bro, I didn't know that he was.
My uncle taught him. He went to Little Flower in a shower.
Colored to everyone.
must be a done.
I'm a done.
He's a boss, bro. But it's just also, I'm tired of influencers and all these things.
Yeah.
Like this, the influencer for me is something like Quincy Jones or Michael Jackson, who influences the sound or like
Or
an
a culture
art form,
itself.
a culture. That's an influencer. For me, an influence. The term is kind of, it's like the way we use genius now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very-
Not everyone can
very
be
freely.
Not everyone's a goat now.
No, man.
A lot of people are actual goats.
But you're right though. The influencer model has diluted the actual influencer model of past, where
Yes.
somebody did something that was like legit.
Yes, and the hectic thing is like, even when you say it, you just sound like a hater. Then because the way the kids go, like Twitter, I'll never try a joke on Twitter, bruh.
Yeah.
Yo, those people
do that. Like,
I've seen.
I think
try
they
and get
actively
feedback.
try to break your spirit on especially Twitter.
Yeah, that's the vibe of
Like Twitter is troll central
Yeah.
for social media. bruh.
Yeah.
Everyone is an expert on there. Everyone's opinion matters on there.
Yeah,
and do you find it, like as a comedian, both you guys, do you find it hard in this current social media space? Do you find any pressure to be more politically correct because of how easily everyone is offended these days and everyone's triggered?
Yeah. For me,
Or do you care?
For me, I don't care, but I do care about my peace of mind.
Yeah.
So I won't. So if I want to say something, like now I'm doing this joke about R. Kelly on stage, but like I wouldn't have said it on. The point of it is that I won't cancel R. Kelly's music because this is me. I won't cancel his music because I'm old enough to see the genius in his music, and I'm also old enough to know I'm not going to rape a child.
Bruh,
so
I
can
feel
live
the
in
same way.
Both ways.
That's crazy, yeah, because
I know
How
it's
do you
wrong.
stop playing R. Kelly?
R.
Especially
Kelly's-
for us.
it's a conflict.
What is
because-
Sunday without R. Kelly, bruh?
But it's weird, bro, because like the other day I saw a dude driving by and he had an Audi A4. He's obviously one of those old school, not a new A4, like the old one that around, like his windows are all open. He's an old bally.
Yeah.
And he's cranking the R. Kelly. And I was like, I know how he feels, because R. Kelly music is dope. But
it is, but the music.
It's very weird to...
The person itself is a different story.
Yeah.
But the music, like especially with me who is a musician and who loves music down to my DNA and my core, I can't cut out everything that man has done musically just like that,
It's
because
strange,
of
though.
what he's done.
Yeah. It's
I
a
don't
conundrum.
condone it. It's not me condoning him
Yeah.
and his actions and so forth, but I love the music, bruh.
I can
But
also
the opinion is that if you're listening to his music and you're pushing his music, you are condoning
Yeah.
it. That's the opinion of
But,
the...
there are a
this is
lot
this is my thing. So I'm also like, I'm listening to music before I knew this shit.
Yes.
It's the same way with the Cosby shows and all
Yeah,
those things.
yeah.
Like now I'm not going out and buying new music, but if I got the thing,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I made a conscious choice to I stopped listening to him, and I literally have all of his albums, right? Child Play was
So
one
you
of
don't
my-
listen to R. Kelly
I listen.
anymore?
I don't, because I have license, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm making you listen to because my
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
I'm making you
There's
listen to a
a-
person that if you were in the room with him, I
would
wouldn't
be
be
licking his
comfortable.
lips,
yes,
And
yes.
I can't do that to myself and to my kids, right?
I hear you. Maybe
But then,
I only keep like the laundromats is like I decided it's one song.
what about all the music that he's produced and written for people too as well?
That's it. So like him and Celine Dion, it's the music
Like,
is nice. bruh.
his discography
He had a
is
gospel
ridiculous,
album. It's
bruh.
all uplifting, but it's too much, bruh. I think it's too
And
much.
then, okay, so for
Yes.
guys in the
I get. This is my
Because
thing.
he
Is,
didn't
and-
stop. It wasn't like a short period.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
forever.
yes.
bruh, since Aaliyah.
but and probably even before. Leah's
Yeah.
probably the first famous one. But I think the reason why I'm taking a stand now to the whole R. Kelly thing is because I think this cancel culture is getting too crazy.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like this generation is not going to invent anything.
Yeah.
Because to invent shit, you got to make mistakes. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
how can you judge me from some shit I did not know before that, or even with the transgender, like I had a fight with a friend because I referred to her friend as a he. They said, no, that's a she. Then I was like, just tell me, don't fight with me.
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know the thing.
So
I can see this.
how did you get confused?
No, because this person is obviously referring to himself as a she, but I saw a he.
They
When I saw a he.
Do they
Okay.
identify as she or they
Identify,
are female?
they are female. I don't know. I don't want to get into the
It's
details of
tricky.
it. But I saw a he when a person walked
You're
in,
like, yo, what up, bruh?
and then she was like, "No, that's a she." Then I was like, "Cool," but the attitude she gave me was
Yeah.
very much like, "What the fuck? You being rude?" And I'm like, "No, I'm greeting a person.
Yeah.
If you tell me that afterwards, then cool. If I choose to do it afterwards, now I'm being a dick."
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm allowed to make a mistake.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
Yes. So I'm like, I think the attitude to all these new things that we're learning, which is really good that people now can say, I'm going to be a man, I'm going to be a girl.
Yeah.
Whatever you choose. cool, but then you also have an understanding of people hearing it for the first time.
Yes.
You can't
just see him like, yo, I'm a vegan. Like, I can't see.
Like, our guy is a vegan.
I know, speaking on him.
Vegans.
I know he's a vegan.
Vegans come and
But
fuck
yeah,
up
that
your whole
cancel
pride.
culture,
Now you must
that cancel culture, because now you probably, when people see this, it's going to be hashtag cancel Robby. Why, bruh? Because I listen to R. Kelly.
Tell me now, you're talking about this R. Kelly bit of yours. How long have you been doing it?
I literally did it for the first time on Sunday. I've done it twice.
And
Did it
the
work?
reception?
The reception worked because in what I'm explaining in the overall joke is that how this generation is too judgmental, and it's okay that we're trying to move forward, but we're not going to move forward in a positive way because there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So
just full stop after
The whole thing of fuck it, I'm going to listen to R. Kelly is like, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to be part of your cancel the world thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's my whole point of it. It's not really like I'm out there arguing on R. Kelly's behalf.
Defending him
I'm
or
not defending
something,
him. I know
Decided-
what he did was evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you
Because
know
I
what I'm
also
saying?
tried a bit like R. Kelly, but it's a one-liner though, because I said, "Hi, I'm Richelieu, and I have a criminal record." And I was like, it's 12 play by R. Kelly. And you're like, oh, okay. But then I was also, like you're saying, I had the fear of of the people's minds. Like, now I'm going to go into it because I love all. I won't lie, bro. I like the music. I've always liked the music.
I had this one joke. I don't even know if I should do it on here.
Why, bruh? Go
After
for
I
it.
said that, I was like, you know when you're fucking your chick and then your music's on shuffle and then R. Kelly comes on. Then you got to pause. Now imagine me fucking the stool and then I pause. Then I look down at the chick and then I was like, did you finish your homework? The crowd loved that joke. But you
know
see,
what?
if you do that on social media, you're not
gonna get
hearing
crucified.
my tone. You're not seeing I'm giggling. You're not seeing that I'm being naughty
Right.
about
You're
saying
just
the
reading
thing.
a tone.
You're just
You don't-
going, Robby says he fucked young children while listening to R. Kelly.
And that'll be the headline
And
everywhere.
that's so. But my whole point on the whole thing is how when I even say having sex with a girl and R. Kelly comes on shuffle, I'm saying that this person is so big. He's been making music from '89.
Yeah.
To eliminate him from your life, it's difficult. It's different if we said cancel Danny Kaye. No one has even checked their phone. R. Kelly is a different beast.
Because bro, it's not just the music. Like how many times has a song? That's bad. Hey, we're gonna get shit for this episode one.
That's so
But
funny,
how many times have you heard an R. Kelly song and it's not just this is a dope song. It takes you back to a memory, to a place, or
The
something like
production
that.
is music. He produced, wrote, and arranged his own songs and performed that. And he didn't just do shits. He gave amazing music.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like you say, they soundtracks our childhood, bruh.
Yeah.
Everyone was bumping this thing.
I did that like years ago. I wrote an update on social media. Like every memory you have, there's an R. Kelly song playing in the background.
Right.
That's like before the
Before
drama.
what happened,
like, Because breaking of anything, bruh. You go into the beach, there's some, today's really good to me. It's always,
like summertime reminds me of Anstey's.
Exactly.
Of the beach.
Yeah.
Like literally, as soon as I hear it. And now, to like you're saying, to take that out, like to cancel it, it's. I think that a lot of people who are saying that, cancel R. Kelly, are still listening.
You know,
Publicly, they're like, fuck, I don't
His
listen to
music
this
is
dude.
still on iTunes.
But when they're cleaning up, bruh, what you gonna play?
Because I looked on iTunes, his music is still there, so it's not
It has
gone.
to be there because there's other people making money off that shit.
Colours.
yeah. But it's,
Don't bring that up. That's for another story.
I think with R. Kelly's thing, the craziest thing is how many chances people gave him.
Yeah.
So
Because it wasn't
like,
new, it didn't just happen now all of a sudden when you got
That's my-
I
convicted.
don't feel sorry for him at all because I'm like, people let you pee on a person and there's always comebacks.
Because when you watched that documentary, it went on for like a few years ago. It was still going on.
He could have been just.
I'm sure it would still be going on, bruh. If
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
off.
You couldn't go to court now because he had a toy infection. Did you see that?
Didn't all his lawyers leave him to something like that?
But when he says he's bankrupt, he's not bankrupt like when we become broke. He's rich people broke.
It's rich,
I'm
rich people
trying
broke.
to get out of this thing.
Yeah.
Like 50 Cent had that for a while.
Yeah, Celine Dion, 50 cents.
But 50 was bad. 50 filed for bankruptcy and then posted pictures laying on money.
Laying on money, yeah.
Like, fuck yo.
It's clever, bruh. It's
because he has multiple accounts. It's like he's married to himself in community of property.
That's funny. That's funny.
Shame, R. Kelly went on for a long time. Bruh, coronavirus.
I think I found out about that because people were already making jokes about it on social media. So then I had to go read about that whole thing. It's crazy how these things never like mess with South Africa. All these new diseases.
They don't like.
It's like AIDS. Like, this is all mine. Nothing else coming.
AIDS has the monopoly on SA.
AIDS bought all the properties in South Africa.
He's like, man.
Because every case they've investigated so far has been negative.
Yeah, this thing's even gone into California, bruh.
Yeah, bruh. I think the death toll is now over 1,000.
And you saw that cruise ship that's off the coast of China.
Oh, yes.
China
They just got them there.
It just keeps going up and up and up. So it starts off at like 40, then 70, now it's 100 and something. So I think they're just going to burn the ship and leave them there. Like,
sorry, guys.
Because it's crazy. It's like, because they're saying, because they quarantine you, but I mean, now you get quarantined at one dude that's already been infected.
Sure.
then 2 days later, oh no, you need to also go.
Yeah.
But then it just keeps. And then the people that are treating you.
And now you're on the
also
water,
at
now you
risk.
can't even go home. You're just like, oh no, send us food.
My thing, who names these things?
Yeah, so apparently it's.
Because SARS this is like part 2 of SARS. Remember like the respiratory.
Yeah.
This is basically because they thought it was SARS.
And is it SARS?
SARS.
Yeah,
that was the last time.
I'm thinking about text.
Yeah, that's who names these things?
Like who names
Yeah,
these
make a
things?
call.
So I saw there's I think it's Dettol, some antiseptic thing where on the label it says fights against coronavirus and blah 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 blah.
No
so
way.
I'm dead serious.
On a
bro.
Unilever product.
I'm dead serious. I'll find this picture that I saw. So I don't think it's a new virus that's just suddenly
so the
come
guy
up.
the guy that blew the whistle, he is a doctor, right? And he was like a while back, he's like, there's a thing and people are gonna die, whatever. And don't believe him. They actually tried to arrest him and charge him for spreading rumors and creating a panic.
Yeah.
And he died. He died now of coronavirus. He's the guy he was like the number one guy. He probably named it as well.
Oh yeah.
Did they inject him?
He died. He came back to life and he died again.
What?
This thing is hectic, bro.
But the conspiracy theories are crazy, bro. Because I don't know if you're a fan of games or gaming culture, or even movies. There's Resident Evil.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So I think is it Resident Evil, Max?
Yeah.
Raccoon City.
Corona, it's like
Oh.
So the symbol for is it the symbol for Raccoon City?
yeah, the symbol for Raccoon City and the hospital that they
And-
the hospital.
Yeah, so the hospital or the lab rather, that's in close proximity or where this virus spread from is Corona, where this virus came from, and then Raccoon City is an anagram for
So
Corona.
spells the same.
In the movie
right.
Resident Evil, the same thing happened. They developed a virus and spread.
So
and
you're talking chemical warfare now.
that type of thing.
But that's
So-
but the conspiracy theory, like what AIDS was also considered chemical warfare because we dying of AIDS in Africa, but the
Yeah.
rest of the world are kind of they got it
well,
under
they're dying,
control.
but not in at
Not
the level
as soon
that
as us,
Africa
and they also
is.
got
Yeah.
under control, and they have families and they're living forever. But
Because there's like a thing that this is one of, if you believe like conspiracy, or you buy into conspiracy theories about the culling of the population.
Yeah,
the guys want to depopulate.
Yeah, that's
so
what
they're
it
saying
boils
that
down to.
this is one of the methods that they're going to use to bring the population down.
Right.
And it's scary. Like when you look deep into it, it can rock you a bit when you think of these things, because
Right, 'cause
how does a virus just suddenly appear and then be uncontrollable?
they were eating bats.
But
Yeah, a lot more things than bats.
That's the thing. That's what I said. They were eating bats. The last time was they were having sex with monkeys. So like it always comes from some sort of animal, and then
But how is it new? I mean, no, fuck veganism.
trying to promote veganism. It's not that type of podcast.
my thing with all these things is like, I'm sure there's like real life James Bonds. Like when you think of
They go into a lab
9/11
and they
and
get
all
like
those
a
things.
DB9 and then a gun. And
Yes.
Because how is all the shit not escaping all the time? Like how are we not bombarded? Because there's so much that can kill us like this
But it
in the
also,
world today.
yeah, but
I think there's financial things as well, eh?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Because even if you get Yeah,
when you look at how China's growing, whatever, like if you want to go into like conspiracies, like China's growth is probably quicker than any countries in the world.
And they own so much of Africa, bro.
Yeah, now, how do you slow them down? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these different things.
yeah, it's a.
So that's one of the ways they can slow them
You
down.
can
is-
make a conspiracy out of anything.
For real.
Anything.
Yeah.
For real. Like, how did Richelieu become a successful comedian?
Why do we have T-shirts over here?
Speaking of, we do have a couple of sponsors that have hooked us up for the full story. Number one is Glamiz Clothing and the Electric Side Printing Company. So the gear that you see here is from Glamiz. Shout out to Itz for hooking us up. We will have, you'll see their contact information pop up on your screen, their social media info. Holler at him if you want to order any stuff. Another word from our sponsor over here supplying the retro gear. I think his name is Richelieu B. The B stands for thanks.
Yeah, there's
So
lots
yeah,
of
there's
jackets there.
some really
There's
dope stuff, bro.
Dope retro stuff there
Where
for
are you
sale.
stealing it from?
Well, you know, it's found in the bottom of a box.
You got
Some
some
of them.
really dope shit. And then also, where's our bottle?
This is our bottle.
Guys, those are stealing things.
There's one behind us.
In one of
We've
our,
got Fox
our-
Street Gin,
which we've been indulging in.
we've been indulging in. Also one of our sponsors. So shout out to our people hooking us up
Yeah, this
for
is
the
dope
full
because
story.
This is,
This
made
is
by-
really dope.
This is made in Fox Street and it's made by a guy from Newlands East where we grew up.
Where we are from.
I
And
was
what kind
born,
of
I
say-
was
You were
born there.
born.
And what kind of say is the general greeting of the average person, colored person, especially from Durban. So,
Yep.
So this is it's a weird. It wasn't
This
purposely
bottle's
done,
dope.
but it's a weird coming together of Durban
It
talent.
is, and one of the things that we want to push with the full story is not just talking nonsense and talking about entertainment and stuff,
Yeah.
but also motivating people a bit, like bringing on people or showcasing people who have done it for themselves.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, shit is hard in SA right now,
No, for
especially right now. So for people to have the initiative, the drive, the passion to follow their dreams and try and make something happen for themselves. Shout out, people.
Yeah,
We
man.
see you.
That's why
We
you got
see
Robby,
you.
because Robby, like what people don't understand is that like they see Robby, like Robby's at Melville or Robby's in Santon and Ellis and Fifth.
Yeah.
But not specific only Robby, but there's a lot of comedians that like besides the ones that you see on TV or the one that you see in the papers that are doing the thing.
Yeah.
Like Gola, for example. Loyiso Gola for me lives the ideal comedy life where
Yes.
all he does is travel and comedy. He doesn't have
No side
does
hustle or
nothing.
something like that. Yeah.
Like he doesn't have kids, doesn't have anyone to report to. He does.
Yeah.
He just does the comedy, and that's what Robby does, bro. That's what I like about Rob's. He's done. He's managed to do the thing. He came from the heights, and then. and then he's
What
walking-
set do you claim, bro? What do you
Where's your
represent? Like where's your para? Where's your kali?
It's a tough, because both my mom and Bali grew up on the farm.
All right. Which
And,
one?
So my mom's Aikopo, my dad's Eshawi.
Okay.
And then my mom came at around 6 to Greenwood Park.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Bali, when he moved after school, back then they didn't finish school. So I think when he moved grade 8.
Yeah, but it's basically
Yeah.
enough to become a carpenter or something.
Yeah,
like-
because he's a plumber, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's-
So they went to Wentworth.
Okay.
And then my mom, her parents, they went to Wentworth as well. So most of the family.
That where they met.
Yeah, yeah.
in Wentworth, okay.
Proper in the church, Christ the King. Those
All right.
vibes.
Oh shit.
So Newlands East until I was 2, then Sydenham, then Sherwood for a bit, then Overport, then Wentworth, and now my mom's in Musgrave.
Wentworth what's the longest? So which area was your longest period?
Shucks.
You went to high school in Wentworth, right?
Yeah,
Fairview?
yeah.
Wentworth.
The
For your
longest
whole,
period, I'm
for
trying
your
to
whole
think.
high school career or for a bit?
Loved it. High school's a career.
That shit is.
The whole 5, it was 3 years.
Okay.
3 years of it.
In one.
But why I went to such a thing is because it was always the consistent in life.
Okay.
So like weekends spent in Wentworth, family things.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, even if you're staying in Sydenham, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and also majority of the family are all in Wentworth.
So do you
On my
do
Bali
you,
and my
do you
mom's side.
visit? Do you go back sometime?
I was there 2 weekends ago.
What is it like when you visit? Like, is it still oh, that's Robby tells jokes, or is there a bit of celebrity for Robby's
Are
in
you
the
a
gully?
local celebrity,
Yeah, are
Robby?
you a local celebrity?
There's the people get very excited, and then there's the ones who I'm actually friends with who don't care.
Yeah.
So you find that for, like people that don't know you, do you think
Yes.
that people when see you by the shop they expect they expect more of a hustle from you? It's like, there's Robby from TV.
Yeah, like some
How's the
people.
£5
Some people are just genuinely excited to see me because
Yeah.
they go, oh no, remember I know your sister,
yeah,
I know
from before.
So then
Yeah.
it's actually fun to catch up with people like that. Then you get the other people are just like, some people just they panic when they see somebody from TV, but then they don't know how to deal anymore.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they lose all
Yeah.
human respect levels.
Yeah, and sometimes they just be a dick towards
Yes.
you.
It's like,
It's like, yo, I'd have actually chilled and spoken to you, but now.
Yeah,
But
but
now
like I
you-
was sitting so I've been going to the tavern in my hood for my whole, like, ever since it opened, bro. And I was sitting here recently and there's a guy there and he's like, you don't know anything. Bro, we don't even, we just chilling, right? I'm not like communicating to him, we just chilling. And he looks at me and the whole time he's staring at me and I'm like, you want to say something, man? Because I
Sure.
can see you. He's like, you don't do anything for your community. I'm like, huh? What? I'm like, I'm here. And he's like, no, you just, now because you're here, you're going to come sit here. And then people, so I'm coming to sit in the tavern so people can see me. I'm not being in this tavern.
Sure.
At the time I was in school.
drinking these beers.
And he's like, if I phone you today and ask you to do something, it's like, I'm like, have you phoned me, bruh? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
you have never phoned me. So you just assume because he
Because
doesn't
you
know
haven't
me.
built a
and
church or something that
yeah,
you're not doing
I'm like,
anything.
you're going to
in
do a
the community.
fundraiser. I'll come.
And people expect, they see TV and they expect crazy money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't realize, like in this country, like Generations, the biggest show in Africa, they were fighting for money.
Dude,
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, a person's doing well, but they're not going to come and just build a school. You know what I'm saying? It's
because that takes a lot of money.
yeah, so it's a lot of things.
So do you feel, like you were saying, like how people are saying, oh, you don't do for your community. Do you feel pressure, any pressure, both you guys, to be a role model? Like, do you feel like you have to take on that label of, oh, I'm a role model now for people, so I have to watch how I act, what I say, I have to give back to the community? Like, do you feel obligated to be a role model?
Yes and no. How does, in the sense that,
Because
like,
I also feel yes and no. Because I want them to. For me, like when I go to New Orleans or whatever, I chill where people don't know me, right?
Yeah.
It's just because I chill in the corners. You know what I mean? And eventually they're like, who? Some dude or one of them will be like, what do you mean? Like this, then somebody will explain, no, this guy does this,
Sure.
he's on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, what? So I want to be a role model, but also want them to see that you can be who you are.
Yeah, you
I
don't have
want
to
it be
change or
like-
switch up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be like, oh, there he goes driving past in a limo. I don't want to be that guy. Right?
Yeah.
I want to be a role model, but also I don't want you to be me. I want
Yeah.
you to be who
Be
you are.
But
realize
sometimes,
that-
in my experience, sometimes you can't be who you are.
no,
to
for
make
sure,
it.
yeah.
You have to make
That's
certain
a very close
certain
thing.
adjustments.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Definitely.
as a comedian, as a Durban colored comedian,
Right.
you couldn't, in my opinion, you couldn't level up to where you are now by doing the material that you did when you started. Yes or no?
No.
Because the Durban colored community is minuscule. It's
a
very,
very
small.
small- it's a very small
So
box.
your material would be hilarious to that community, but will fall flat
Yeah,
But-
true.
nationally.
But at the same time,
if you do it the way you did it there when you started,
yes,
yeah.
because I think you can still tell the story.
Yes.
Because even now, it's 12 years of me doing comedy, and I still say I'm from Durban.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been living here for 10 years now, but I still say, I'm a Durban comedian. So people understand that the way I see this world is different to the way you see the world. And I also like that thing of just being, like, I'm proud I'm from Durban.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Unfortunately, I can't live there because the entertainment industry right now is, like, not right now, it's always been like very
Joe, but-
difficult to make a living there. But I'm very proud to be from Durban. I think, like Richelieu's saying, I want to be a role model in a way that inspires a person to go, hey man, I'm from here, I can also still do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can do, because when we started comedy, this is before Trevor Noah was a thing. So telling anyone you want to do comedy, it sounded like you were ridiculous.
Yeah, but like
He's
for
like,
me,
just
there's
wanna tell
nothing to
jokes.
look.
Yeah.
He's like, how, you know what I mean? Like, you want to just MC weddings in the hood. That's what it sounds like.
Doing gigs for biryani.
Yeah, so it's just like, back then when you said it, it sounded crazy. Now that we in these positions that we are, now for kids, you go, okay, cool, I want to be a soccer player. I want to be this. A scientist. You're going, okay, doesn't matter where I'm coming from. I'm taking taxis. Those guys took taxis. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that kind of.
Yeah, but like when you're talking about like the material and the content, from like personally, when I go to Durban, so I run a show in Turbs, right, at the Bat Center, Laughing Stock,
Yeah.
and I call it Brenos at Bats, and I find that it deters some people from coming because they don't understand what the Breno thing is.
Yeah.
I also want them to learn. If you get there, you'll find out that it's not what you
it's
envision.
not what you see on TV as.
Yeah, or in watching Four Corners or
the
Dollars and White Pipes.
the image that they
things
put of colors, yeah.
And there's a dog there. So when I
Being
do
attacked.
Durban though, when I play the Bat Center, I do switch up. I don't switch up my material. I switch up my vibe.
Yeah.
I can do in Durban what I can't do in Joburg, right?
Yes.
I can talk like a Durbanite, for example. I can use the colloquialism. I can use
Like
things
they'll
that I've
understand what
known,
prachi
and I
means
don't
and
have to
things like
switch
that.
it up. I can say what kind, and everyone will be like, wait, what kind? But if
Right.
I can't walk into Parkers and be like, wait, what kind? Everyone will be like,
Yeah.
smoking his
This guy.
socks, right? So when I go to Durban, I talk more, like when I come to and I'm doing Josie, I'll explain the situation that we grew up in. And I hop on it a lot. I want them to understand that we didn't grow up with everything.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to feel sorry for me.
Yes,
but when
yes.
I get to Durban, I'm like, yo, we grew up with nothing and we can laugh about it together.
Yeah.
It's a different set, you know what I mean?
So
But-
is it more like in terms of how you deliver the material rather than changing the material to suit a specific crowd or
because I
or
guess
area?
the message kind of stays the same.
Yeah, because also even like racially, like you can get away with saying things to a black and colored crowd that you wouldn't to a white crowd.
Yeah.
Because then they see, it's the poor colors, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So they're thinking like that. So now you almost.
So you're getting instead
And you
of
must keep saying, don't feel
Yes.
sorry for me.
So you've got like that the hardships in the hoods are celebrated.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool thing
Yeah.
to go. We're all
Yes,
we
I was-
all had it rough.
I was having this discussion yesterday, like where you've noticed that people that are like in the upper realms of earnings or the richer people, it's harder to make them laugh. Like when people that are that like you see photos of families that have nothing in their house or they've got no lights, they got nothing. Their photos are always happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their conversations are always jolly. They're always laughing. I don't know if if it's a coping mechanism.
I think
for,
it is.
Definitely.
It
I
has
think
to be
it's-
because you'll go insane.
So like when you make more money,
if
like
you
I'm
wallow
not
in
gonna
the-
laugh at a guy that ate knickknacks. You know what I mean?
I think it's a coping thing, and it's also the reason why the hoods get so violent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the small thing, I was having this conversation with my cousin. I was like, when people talk about, and even I've joked about like stepping on a colored guy's shoes or whatever, or leaning on someone's car. It's, you know what it is? I've
Both
got
those things have
nothing.
happened to me at one point in my life. Someone stepped on my shoes and leaned on my car.
At the same time.
I was upset. You're standing on my shoes while leaning on my car.
But it comes from not having anything. So I
True,
take
bruh.
pride in my
So the
shoes.
little that you
Listen,
have is
Yeah,
like,
bruh.
So me fighting isn't because I'm being aggro. I'm going others at work. They disrespect me. I'm trying to make a hustle. Now come and
Exactly.
I just want to have a beer. Now you're stepping on my shoe.
you know how long this shoe has been in milli meal
And you were
in the
there
sun.
and I am sitting the whole day. I had to watch my shoes because the thieves are going to steal my
Exactly.
shoes. I must watch my
Watching
shoes.
on the roof.
So it's those things. It doesn't. It's not from these people are fucked or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It comes from not another person is disrespecting me right now.
Right.
And that's why I think a lot of these fights happen.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We hold a lot for our physical hell. No,
Yeah.
like our physical
Our
things we
well-being.
have in our hand. It's like,
Yeah.
bruh, it's my thing. I don't
Yes.
care.
Don't
You're like,
mess
but the
with
thing
my
costs 10
thing.
rand. Like, it's my
It's
thing.
my
bruh.
thing.
I
It's
don't
my
care.
thing.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you were saying laughter and humor is a coping mechanism? Do you think sometimes it can go a bit too far where humor actually starts to downplay the seriousness? Like, especially if you look on social media, like there are some serious issues. Now there's nothing that's taboo. Anything can be laughed at. Anything can be made a joke. So does that not, in some way, stand in the way of trying to fix some things? Where if everyone's just laughing at shit,
Yeah,
how are we going to take it
ha, ha,
seriously?
ha.
Exactly. It's
Like,
because
this is
we're
a serious
coping with it now.
matter.
We just have to laugh with it.
Yeah,
But it's
it's a serious
serious,
matter.
bruh. Like
Yeah.
if the lights go off now, our podcast is fucked.
Yeah.
Like we just have to stop. You know?
Hammer time.
So don't you think it can go a bit too far in terms of cultures? Like,
I think jokes get watered down.
Yeah.
So like
sugarcoating.
Yeah. So if you look at, for example, somebody like Richelieu or whatever, and they go, or let's use somebody like Dave Chapelle, more current. An example of he goes, he's been doing all these transgender jokes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but like, how are transgender people winning in discrimination Olympics against black people? So he's not saying fuck transgender people. He's just saying there's a thing here that has not been fixed for centuries that has now been taken over by a new thing.
Yeah.
So now you can laugh at the joke, and then somebody hears the joke, but they don't hear what he's trying to say.
Yeah, the message
So
behind
now
the
they're
joke.
just going, oh, let's make another joke about a transgender. You know what I mean? Now you got a build up of jokes about transgender people, but you're not getting the initial point. Because his initial point isn't fuck transgender.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, don't forget about the thing
that's been here forever.
that's been here and hasn't been solved.
Yeah.
And then things just go and they get watered down. But also social media, those jokes, they are just, everybody's a comedian on that thing.
That's the thing. Like, how do you make a living as a comedian now when it's just competition? It's the same for like us in the music space.
Right.
Everyone's a producer. Everyone is a rapper now.
But you can see the ones who come from social media, and someone said you should do comedy, and then you see them talking, and you go, "Oh,
You actually shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You actually. So is there? Do you feel like as stand-up comics, do you feel pressure or competition from the Instagram comics and the social media comics? Like, because now you can just film a skit.
For me personally,
and it
not
will
at
be-
all.
Hey?
Not at all.
And
Is it not hurting the stand-up industry at all?
You know what's hurting the stand-up industry is it's the accessibility of stand-up comedy and humor. So if you got Netflix, you can watch everything, right? Or YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I've realized, and I had this epiphany last night, it's like, as much as I watch comedy, of course, I've also fell into the trap because I don't really watch so much comedy as I used to, because I feel that I don't want to consume it because it hinders my ability to write it, right? Because I'm like, shit, that I just spoke about coffee yesterday. No, I'll just watch a chicken joke, whatever. So it kind of hinders your ability to write. But now, yesterday when I'm performing on stage and I stepped off the stage, I was like, I just had this epiphany that this is the fucking thing, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, nothing, bruh. I'm like, because I was thinking of sharing my material online. I'm like, even if you watch this bit online and you see me performing it, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Never the same.
it's not
The
going to
room-
capture.
It's never the same.
Yes.
Because there's a lady recording me, and I was like, why are you recording me? She's like, no, for social media. I'm like, but if I want to be on social media, I would have wins online. I'm standing here for you to watch. She's like, yeah, but I'm recording. And I didn't say stop. I was like, all right, record. Fuck it, I don't care. Because I've just realized now that no matter what you do through this phone, and whoever watches it, it's never going to be this
Even
year.
if you do the exact same gag,
It's never gonna
the
be
next
this
day
year,
it
bruh.
will be different.
So like for me, it's like I've realized that I'm not in those people that like, if you like, I would post online. We're posting online right now. So I don't feel let's compete with who I am on stage or who Robby is on stage or anything else in that. So the comedy that people see is not the comedy that people experience.
Yeah.
But
You know
like,
what I mean?
there's a magic you just capture with live
With
performance,
live, bruh.
even with musicians and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just, it won't sound like the album, or even comedy. You can watch the thing and it's funny, but you can't capture that feeling.
Yeah, the laughter,
The vibe.
your feelings there. There's someone smacking your leg. It's all different.
You never see it? That couple, are we rolling?
Oh, those ones are fucked.
Yeah, in the Naked in the Road.
I didn't see it, but I heard about that.
You saw it, Richelieu?
I did see it.
Even that Samson couple was fucking.
Yeah.
You see that?
But where was Jesus going to? Northcliffe.
So Jesus was going to Northcliffe. He was
Northcliff.
somewhere, I think
But
Santon or
like,
something
for
like
me,
that.
my mind went my mind went back, like, where, because that's honestly what I thought. So I was like, because I saw him and I saw the video, and I saw not the lady that the video, the lady that posted the lady with the phone posted it on Twitter, and I saw it in that. I saw her original post. You know what I mean? Before it even went viral. I was like,
when she
viewer
posted
number
it.
10, like I was in there. Because I don't really scroll Twitter or whatever, but sometimes I open it because I follow sneakers a lot on Twitter, right? So I'm always looking out for the sneakers. So when I get on there, I say, what's this thing now? So first I thought it was going to be white people, right? Because I could see they kind of looked like they had no clothes on. But I was like, what is this here? So I opened it.
Why we just automatically assume if it's naked people in the
white people can do
road?
any...
It's true.
And then I saw how this all comes and he starts but also hashing like, give me 5, 4. Are you going to give Jesus a lift? This is what he said.
But he was well spoken, bruh.
Yes.
And he's
but
in the
going
north.
back, I think there's obviously some sort of drugs.
Now, apparently what happened was, I don't know what they were taking, but I saw that the girl's mother was condemning people online, saying that, we're making a joke, but she's got a serious problem, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because it was a dude and a chick.
She wasn't even like the chief person.
He was the one, but there was clearly some substance
So
involved.
you think it's either substance or you think it's just literally two mentally unstable people?
No, I don't think they're unstable.
Because you do get brothers mentally unstable
Yeah, no,
people.
they are. They are a lot.
Yeah,
And I
but
see them a lot
add
on-
drug substance to somebody who's not right.
Yeah, it
That's a
boosts
worst
that.
combination.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think for a person who's
But I'm saying
normal.
Yeah. So for those two people so imagine like you need one unstable person, you need another unstable person, you need him to meet, and then you need
And
them
you
to be
need bad
introduced to
drugs
another thing.
afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of things. Like I was like, how did they get to that point?
That's what I want to know. Like, what was the lead
Every
up?
crazy person needs to have somebody who's going to go, yeah, that's... that's
Like,
right.
and it's very, very difficult to
That's like how
find.
they are.
It's difficult to find that person.
Yeah,
Like
bruh.
even if you come up with like we've all at some point in our lives, like you've had a ludicrous moment, bro. Where you thought something and you say to your brother, your brother's like, he's like, hey, that wasn't normal.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that
And then
was
one
most of
day
the
you
time.
say that shit like, yo,
You
let's go
find
to
yourself,
Northcliffe.
You find
And
yourself.
let's go naked.
Let's go to Northcliffe, but we don't have money. Don't worry.
Were they
But why are they were butt naked?
Yeah, bro. And also these black Jesus. He literally said, I'm
Yeah,
black
he said,
Jesus.
I'm black Jesus. Jesus is not white.
So he
Jesus
also
is
made
black.
Jesus have a race. And I was like, why does Jesus have now a race
And
now?
then he's like, are you going to take Jesus to Northcliffe? Are you going to take him like that?
Oh,
when you get
shit.
there, Jesus gives you 5 stars. That is crazy.
For the people that don't know the story, there was a video that was viral, and it was we don't know if they're a couple, but a male and a female.
call them a couple, they were together.
They were naked, and the dude was, so this chick is recording, and the dude is like, I'm black Jesus, I'm
So
going
they
to
approached a lady in a
Northcliffe.
car who saw them coming, and
Yeah.
then she took out her phone and started
So she
recording
was
them.
like, you,
What is going on here?
What is going on? And then they saw her.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they came, and he's like, I'm Jesus.
And they had a conversation.
But I'd love to know if anyone knows what happened, like what led to that point.
Yeah.
Please let us know. Drop
And
a
the burning
comment or
question,
something.
did they get to Northcliffe?
Did they get to Northcliffe, bruh? And did they get there naked or what?
maybe they were there the whole day trying different hustles. Maybe they were coming down as like a full Africa care, like chief and a queen.
Sure.
We're going to
Doesn't
take the
work.
queen to Northcliffe. No, shit. Go back home, dress in a suit and a
Who's
tie.
a black couple?
Yeah.
Go back home, put on
Sounds
like
like
a dress and
things white
suit.
people do.
That's what he was saying.
Sounds like white people things. It doesn't sound like black people
I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, it's a brother.
That's heavy.
I want to ask, bro, before we wrap up. So I've seen a lot of your interviews and things online, and a lot of people, like you were saying from our first question, they'll ask about the Trevor thing, and then they also ask about the Dave Chapelle thing. So they always ask you, how was it performing or opening for Dave Chapelle, or how was it touring with Dave Chapelle? But how did the whole thing happen? I've never seen the full story.
Oh, shit.
Like, how did it come about that you ended up opening for Dave Chappelle and then going on tour with him you did go to the States, right? Yeah.
So he literally just asked Trevor. He was like, who's a dope act can work with? And Trevor's like, yo, use this guy.
Oh,
That's literally how it happened.
That's so simple, bro.
That's literally how it happened.
for
bro.
real?
It was just like, I even got Dave's number on here.
Let me see.
I was on to see Dave's number.
What's it saying, guys?
Now you're gonna memorize this.
Or save as the
So is there a
Messiah.
relationship developing there?
What you got his name is?
I actually need to change his name from Dave Chapelle. because
Let me see which category is in. Dave Chapelle, okay.
Why are you not showing me? Because I'm dark.
555.
555.
But it's only comedians here, bruh. Who's missing?
Where is it?
Which Dave is missing? So many Daves in comedy, bruh. I didn't
But that's not
realize
his
that until
name.
now.
Oh, shit.
Dave
I
is,
know. He literally has Dave Chappelle.
that's all this.
on
that-
speed. But so there is a...
Now no one's cared about Trevor's number.
How's Trevor?
So is the relationship still developing?
Well, I speak to his producer guy more, because now I'm planning on going up. I hate talking about things before it happens.
Yeah, true.
But the goal is to go up in end of April.
Oh, yeah.
So also it's a bit warmer then.
Yeah.
Because the last time I went from South African heat straight to Canada, bruh. Canada
Straight in
January,
ice
my
block.
man.
Oh,
you know how hot
Lord.
it is here in January, in
And
February.
how cold it is that side.
Got off the plane,
Should be
minus
right now.
17, dog. you know you feel other things, bruh. You
When someone tells you it's 17, you're like, is that Fahrenheit?
What do you mean?
Is that Southwest 17?
The next day, because I landed, friend of mine took me to a bar. We went to chill. Then the next day when I woke up, I was like, no, these Woolworths things are not winter clothes.
That's what I was about to ask you. How prepared were you? Like,
In my head, I thought I was prepared. I was, when I moved up to
You were like, Joburg is cold, bro.
Yes, as a Durbanite, you go, Joburg's cold.
Yeah.
Bruh, I cut down smoking because the smoking laws are hardcore. So to smoke, I was like, after a while, I'm not putting on gloves.
it's funny,
and
like you say you
jackets
cut
and-
down smoking, like you made it like a choice, like I'm gonna cut down smoking. they cut it down for you.
God was like, nah.
But then it
son.
helps so you don't have to be outside as much.
Yeah, yeah.
Dog, it's crazy, bro. The one time because I went there, then I went to Harlem. I stayed in Harlem for like a month. Because usually I stay with Trevor, but then I was like, I want to stay in a place that's very much connected to locals.
Yeah.
Because Trevor lives in a penthouse.
Yeah, no locals there.
So I wanted to be amongst people.
What's the lifestyle like at Trevor's level or Dave's level? Like,
Oh, it's
if
crazy.
you guys
but
are.
But also New York, like Trevor walks to Daily Show.
Yeah.
Like we'll take a walk together, bruh. He stays like maybe 5 blocks away.
Because there are a lot of studios and things there.
Yeah. So like where Trevor is, down the road there's the Daily Show.
Yeah.
And then up the road it's Colbert, the Tonight Show.
Okay.
Everything's just there in a line. So for him, the lifestyle, also he's a chilled You hang out, like after work, you go play PlayStation. Weekends he goes and tours.
Okay.
That's all he does.
And
Dave's
so Dave, I
another-
know, was one of the guys that got you into comedy, right? If I'm
Yes,
not mistaken.
yes.
Dave Chapelle.
Yeah.
So,
But Dave's another world.
yeah,
Dave
I know,
like
that's.
smoke weed, drinking.
That's the full story we're looking for. We wanna
But
know.
isn't that dope to meet someone who you look up to so much and they're such a dope person?
But that's what I was saying earlier, bruh. So you seeing him as who he is, like you're saying,
Yeah.
so that's the inspiration that you get from him, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. When you go and stand in your hood and you inspire those people to be themselves, that's exactly
And you're
what I'm
still
talking about.
regular,
like
you
You're
still-
the same guy. They're like, what? This guy drinks?
Because Dave was chill, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
You know, the whole time I was chilling and I'm trying to get like information about comedy from him. He like didn't even touch comedy. The only time we spoke comedy is after one of my sets. Then he was like, "How long you doing it for, kid?" And then I was like, at the time I was like,
Did he call you
going on
kid?
11 years. Yeah,
That's amazing.
And then it sounded like Mr. Miyagi.
Was it rubbing your back?
So then I go like 10 years, going on 11 years. Then he goes, oh, now it's going to make sense. That's all we spoke about comedy. Then we carried on talking- but his whole thing, because Dave was doing it for years before he got any sort
but
of
also,
break.
don't you find that the more people that are new to comedy, I don't know if it's the same with music, the more people that are new to comedy want to speak about comedy.
Yeah,
So like
I
if you're
think
chilling
so.
with someone who's done comedy years, let's say David Cowell for argument's sake, you won't sit and talk to him about comedy ever.
Yes.
Because he's doing comedy dead long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're sitting with an open, all
not
you
a
have to
novelty
do
in-
is get
yeah.
information about comedy. Like if someone's doing comedy 1 year and Kami's doing comedy 20 years, it's
But
very different conversations all
I
the
think
time.
even our conversation has changed over knowing you for how long? 11 years or
Yeah.
so. Where before it was, you must do that with that gag, do that with
Yeah.
the gag.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now a person's grown and matured, so now you're just like, that's dope. Because you know that he's personally figuring out the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And you also
sometimes you
figure
don't
out-
need the
you also-
opinion.
Yes.
You know, 'cause-
And that's funny because a lot, like even with in the music industry and stuff, sometimes even though you may be a musician or a rapper or a singer or a producer or whatever, and I show you something, I'm not necessarily wanting your opinion on how to
showing you.
improve
That's
it
funny.
or something. I'm
Yeah.
just like, hey, dude, listen to this.
That's
you
funny
know?
because I'm not like, yo, you gotta listen to the drums or
Yeah.
right, no.
It's like the whole thing is, I like this new thing you're on.
Yeah.
to encourage a person to keep finding that.
But I find that you also, like for example, material is a very personal thing because material comes from you, right? And like for me, like
as long as it's your material,
you always find, like people will always give you advice, like Robby's saying, like when you come up to like, yo, make the lady anemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you forget immediately, right? But there's some people that you, like for me personally, I like when I chill at Rob's and I watch Rob's perform, or when I know when Rob's watches me and he tells me something, I always listen to it because that's how long I know him, right?
Yes.
We talk about comedy together because he's my bra from,
and
he's
you know
my dude, he's my guy,
that he
we've
gets
done comedy.
you know.
My advice
and he's seen me so long that it makes sense.
Bless
Now
you.
you're like,
he was like me
like,
giving
what about
me? I can't. If I had to be giving advice to Dave Chappelle,
Imagine,
I'd be
bro.
like the nerve.
Yeah.
Like how can you go
Exactly.
from watching him in school to being inspired now to work with him? Now you're telling him,
Yeah, bro, you shouldn't
because
do
your
that.
brain is like a comedy brain where you can see better. You're like, no, fuck it. Sometimes you're like, no, leave it out, bro. Don't think about it. Leave it out. But you do not talk I don't talk comedy with anyone, actually. Nobody, bro.
There's
Literally
certain people
nobody.
are just like maybe we'll talk about the state of comedy, but not actual callbacks and those things and whatever. You're just like, nah. This person, there's certain people they've figured it out.
And sometimes someone gives you like advice. You're like, man, I've seen your set.
Who are you to be telling me what to do?
I almost feel like giving names.
Don't be shy, bro. It's a conversation.
The full story.
There's a lot of nonsense, bro. And they try and come up to you and be their friend. You should like, yeah, man. It's what happened to you. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about anyone.
Yeah.
And also, like, sometimes I go on stage. Sunday I did this where I went to no material and I was like, I'm going to talk about things in my head and figure out what happens.
Yeah.
And then just make it funny. And then sometimes not funny for a long time. And you're just kind of growing in that space.
Yeah. But you know what? You see, that thing is that's the comfort of comedy, right? Because like, I'm going to give you an example. We were in Durban when you're doing the show, myself, you and Neil Green.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Neil Green.
Our Neils.
And then, so you came on, right? So Robby, because Robby, you just came off a tour. So Robby just came up like literally a tour of the country. And he, as soon as he whittled down, I was like, we're going to eat Durban. And he's like, okay, cool, he jumps in. Then we got there, but he done this thing where he said, my man's come off a tour. So as any person should be like, be confident. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Safe. But Robby was doing this thing where you're chilling and feeling out the room and just talking, right? Like there was not even jokes. He's just talking to people.
Yeah.
But they were like, nah, bro. This was just talking to us. So one dude comes to me. He's like, bruh. And he's like, I know this man, right? So I said to him, look here, bruh. Go sit down, relax. Then this come up to me, he's like, but my man, they're thing in a bikini. I was like, bro, I have confidence. I was doing a long time. He's not doing 5 minutes like all these other dudes. He's gonna get, once you use him, you're gonna have fun. Yo, bro. But I couldn't, like, I was like, that's the comfort of comedy, right?
Yes.
You can't do that. Like, if you knew, bro, before you hit one joke and it doesn't work, you're like,
I'm dead.
oh, what my mother's doing. I hope she made beans or something. You're trying to work it out. But now you're like,
after that.
But
I don't think now you don't even try the thing if you don't have confidence in the thing. Because you know it's you work the situation, right?
Yeah,
Also,
you're seasoned now.
Yeah,
I think that's
Like,
so.
for me, I'm working on my 4th one-man show now. In my head, I'm going, if you want just jokes, I can give you just jokes.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to give you just jokes.
Yes, that's your personal vendetta.
Like, yes.
But you did say you don't have a name for it because it's just jokes.
Yeah, it's just, I did say.
You see?
Because for me, I'm like, okay, I wanna do material and make you laugh, but I also wanna say something with it and figure out. Like it's a club.
Yeah.
I never gave this a name. I didn't say. That's why I'm like, when I say just jokes, I'm like, let's just see what happens.
This is at the festival you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it now end of February?
End of February.
Let the people know what's this.
29th at you can buy tickets on web tickets. It's Robby Collins, a night with Robby Collins.
But this is probably coming out after that.
No. It'll come out, people.
Tonight. So I'm doing that. Then I'm doing that's at the Mother City Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Then I'm doing Cape Town International
You're
Comedy
doing
Festival.
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone.
That show, right?
That's going to be exciting.
So is that the explicit one of the Cape Town Comedy Festival?
Yeah, they call it explicit, but excuse me, when you like comics get confused and audience when they hear raw material. Raw doesn't need to be fucking pussies and
that's what people do. Tupac mixtape.
Yeah,
It could just be the subject matter.
Yes.
Because sometimes like random things like racism or sexism or that falls under raw.
Raw is we're telling it in a funny way, but we're going to the core. We're not going.
There's no holds barred.
Yes, I'm not trying to tell you a thing in a nice way. So I think, that's going to be exciting.
So when's that?
That's fun, bro.
That's from the 1st of March till the 8th of March.
Till the 8th of March.
Yeah, it's that, and then a bunch.
So when's
of
the explicit? What date is the explicit one?
From the 1st
The whole time.
To the 8th.
to the
Oh,
8th.
so you do both, don't you? So the other show and that one show they run together.
Which
No,
one?
they're two separate festivals.
Two
right?
separate festivals.
Oh, so it's all two separate.
So-
So there's
mine-
Fox Street Gin talking.
Yeah. Shout out to Etienne.
Shout out to Etienne. Actually, both the sponsors are Etienne.
both.
Yeah.
All Etienne.
The clothing and the
Chains
gym.
of fire, bro.
Okay, so no, I thought it was concurrent.
But now I don't want to go deep into comedy, but now you've got me thinking comedy stuff.
So who did your artwork for the
My
new
boy
show?
Wade, you know Wade.
That is so dope, bruh.
The whole point of it, that's why I was like,
Is that all the things that are on your mind?
it's just all these things that are going through. Somebody saw the post.
But the weird thing about that is when you have to adjust your mind, you're like, every time I look at you, now I'm going to see this picture.
Big head, like rainbows and unicorns and shit.
So like because what I'm thinking, every city I do, I'm just going to do a new poster. And just, I don't
Oh,
want,
so you're going to keep
Yeah.
rotating.
also I don't like the posters of every comedian is cute.
Yeah.
Or it's like, no man, like these are things, I feel like a lot of comedians do work thinking of corporates,
Yeah.
which is cool for your bottom line, but for your creativity, you holding yourself in this place. It's like, imagine going into the studio and going, I must write a number one. You're not going to write the number one.
Yeah.
Because you're already going, I need to do this thing. And you can hear, when people call it bubblegum music, it's like,
It's formulaic.
you've
It's-
written, okay,
but
we
you
need
must
two
remember,
verses,
but
bridge.
No, but you must also remember bubblegum music was actually a genre of music.
Yes, totally. Like the
In
Jackson
South
5
Africa.
now was
No, in
seen
South
as-
Africa, we had bubblegum music, bro. Like before Brenda, there was like that African music. It was called bubblegum music, bro. It was between genres. And but then it became
Yeah, but TKZ
music
also had
that
a song
nobody
called
listens to.
Fiasco, which is meant to be Fiesta.
Which is so crazy, bruh.
What's supposed to be Fiesta?
Fiasco, yeah. Fiasco is a fight.
Fiasco's crazy. It's a
madness.
Fight. Fiesta's a party. So they.
But just
But I
because
thought
it
it was-
sounded better.
Yeah, I thought it was like kind of like a thing to make people confused.
actually-
Like, yo, it's a fiasco. You're like,
And
what?
wasn't I listening? I was listening to the shit coming. Yeah.
Yes, you were actually singing it when you got here.
Halloween, I think, is still one of the greatest albums.
Bruh, I
released
say
in
that,
South
bruh.
Africa.
And it's also the one
It's the shit,
Production.
bruh.
One of the
Production
best,
is
and
insane.
it came out at the right time. It was a December album. So in South Africa, the December album is always the one that pushes you through
Yeah.
to January.
To
So it's like,
summer,
that's like a
yeah.
December song of. And so the competition before was who could release the best December album. But
And how
then
you
TKZ
knew you
just
had a
took it and
hit,
blew it.
or rather how the Gully decided you had a hit was how many times and how loud it played in the Kumbi or
Yo,
the taxis.
and how many cars
and
came first.
Halloween in Newlands, I know. Halloween was everywhere.
And could you play it in the
But
text?
you're meant to
say, could
your,
you?
Your
Yeah.
music needed to fit that. There was that one song that just starts. It's just like just bass.
Every song.
No, but it is straight up bass. Yo, bruh, that
For sure.
album.
Like we used to go, when I used to go to school, the taxis, so our school was in the quad, right? Because it was public school, and so they have it in the quad. But the driveway of the school,
Ah, my bad. In the beginning, there was a groove. And with that groove, dum, 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 dum,
Yes.
we came to
Yes,
do
sir.
all groups.
All the
that's the
grooves.
bass line.
So,
My
so,
bad.
so the driveway of the school at Hillview Senior Secondary, shout out
Oh, yeah,
to
shout out.
tennis courts in the 90s. And then the drive would come right to where assembly happened. Right, I'm saying right there. So it was like 10 meters where the taxi could
On
stop
school premises.
at assembly, bruh. So now they couldn't drop us by the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now because we're late and they also want us to get into shit, they would come into the school, pass all the teachers'
Pumping
cars,
the jams.
make the alarms go off, go in, and assembly is happening, bruh. There's people like 10 meters away doing the Our Father and singing whatever hymns they decided. We come there, bruh, with thick bass, bruh.
Yeah.
We're killing the shiny.
If
the
you
principal's
try
like-
mine.
Then we jumping on the taxi at assembly. The principal was like, all of you, go straight to the office. And then open a door. It gets worse, bro. It was contained in this box. When they open out, everything vibrating, bro. And the teacher's like, all of them. Now we stand there. Old school, bro. Corporal
That's how you
punishment.
become a celebrity in school, bro. Just do shit.
Oh, this was also jump to the taxi.
He thinks he's a big name.
But it's
I got 7 cuts.
You're going too deep.
yeah. Deep cuts.
Now we gotta wrap up. We have to wrap up.
okay.
It's been dope. This is the full story.
It's a full story.
Kensei, Funqui, and Richelieu P. It's just Richelieu P, not Richelieu P.
Richelieu
Benoit.
You know what? When I'm applying for my passport.
I saw that show. What's the P? I don't see this P on your passport. Robby, we just want to say thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
a
us.
lot, bro.
Always. Thank you
so
so
dope.
much.
So
Haven't seen
dope.
in a minute.
Always respect, bro.
Yeah, see, we made a connection.
No, it's been good. This is very cool, bro.
Nah, thanks so much.
This is unnecessary.
No, that's just him flossing. So, if you can see, that is Richelieu's Comedy Central Roast Battle Championship glove.
Bro, challenge anyone.
Was that the first one?
That was the first
The
one.
first one. He
I
beat
challenge
me in
anyone to
he
Kwabi,
beat
bro.
me in the first
Anyone.
round. He
beat you. I saw the
the
one
second
where
round.
The second round, yes.
The
I
second
saw the
round.
one where
It
you.
was
I think you
weird.
lost in the finals to. Was it Mojack?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a battle.
that was pretty
Battling
dope.
Robby was the weirdest thing because he's my proud.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is weird.
And Robby literally does schoolyard farts or jokes, teases.
It was fun because, Mojack beat me the second one. But it's a tough thing because you know personal things about a person. So
Yeah.
you want to go, I'm going to do a joke without bringing your real shit to the table.
So,
You know what I mean? So
that's to be just entertainment.
it's just entertainment.
But
Some
I
people
asked you this in our old podcast. Are there some guys where you like, I can't wait to roast this mother?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the easiest thing is because I think that's why Richelieu is hard to tease.
Yeah.
Is because you got it. Physical things work, bruh.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
Yeah, bruh. Bring a fat person. Oh,
That's cool, bro.
Oh,
That's cool.
But I think
That
it'd be
is
hard.
cool.
For me, it'd be hard to do a fat person, to be quite honest, bro.
Why?
Because I wouldn't want to do fat jokes. Like, I wouldn't want to tease a fat person about being fat.
What body shaming vibes?
No, not body shaming. That's how I think. I'm like, if I talk
It's
about
so
being
obvious.
fat, it's too.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
too
But then you do
easy.
different because
I would do fat, but I would do it I would try and take it away from saying you're so fat.
Yes,
Oh,
not
yeah,
so
yeah,
fat.
yeah,
I like
Like you're the reason one size doesn't fit all.
But what I say about, I said Carl Weber's diseases have diseases. His diabetes has some shit like that.
That was very funny, bro.
Dalen Oliver, have you ever seen Dalen Oliver? He looks like.
Shout out to Dale.
Yeah, shout out to Dalen. Fuck.
This is gonna
Those
love
jokes, but like if you do
Yeah,
like
but it's
silly
about that.
things about looks, so Dalen Oliver, he looks like a white boy. He's got a long face, and then I just said his face looked like a Lay's chip with eyebrows. So it's just like, so it's like you don't have to fuck a person's self-esteem up.
Just be stupid.
Just be creative with it, but like
that's what it's about.
But
bro.
don't we learn? I know both you and I, because I know Richelieu personally. Don't you learn that shit like just sitting in the gully, teasing each other late at night?
Yeah.
You learn a skill. That's a
No, but
skill
that's
that
what
you
we ever
develop.
did, bro. Like for me, that like I literally did that for years, bro. Like because when they said to me, "Do you want to answer this thing?" I was like, "What?
This is what I do. But I don't mind.
But for us, like we used to spend like literally hours, bro,
Hours.
with a person you see every day. So I see you every day, right? And then tomorrow
you
I
have to
must
be
think of something
creatively.
newer.
So you're already naturally teaching your creative mind to come up with this
How to
shit.
quad.
Not the obvious. You
Yeah,
need to
how
go
to
that
quad is
way.
actually a very
It's an art, bro.
It's a
an art
part
form
of the
and a skill.
But
culture.
to find new angles all the time.
but
because
you're
you can't go,
every
I
day.
can't tease.
Like yesterday, I told Robby is tall. Today, I can't show Robby is tall.
Yeah.
I must look at his feet, look at his knee, but I want to look at his fingers, how he talks. Like
You
if
have
talk,
to analyze.
Yeah,
and
bruh.
then it's like so many different skills go into guarding properly. Like you
Yeah.
have to analyze this person in
Yeah,
a way
but
that
if
no
you have a
one
speech
else really
impediment
can.
in the hood,
You finish,
You're
bruh.
over.
and you
finish.
can't
No
never
kids.
come back.
When you finish your cup, I'm just going to make coffee.
Now must be wait.
Write it down.
Let your bra read it for you.
You know in cricket when batsmen get an injury, they have a runner. I'm gonna write.
Give him the pet.
Yo, fuck now when my bra comes.
I never say that.
But isn't it funny that you can be the funniest person, like in terms of teasing and
Even
shit.
with the impediment.
But one day could be your day where everyone's just on you.
Yes.
That was the dope thing for me about it. Like,
Yeah, but it gives you like an unreal power.
Yeah.
Because the next
Exactly.
day you get the same energy, like, not today.
sorry, guy.
But there's certain people never got touched. My one boy, Louis from Fairvale, his dad owned 2 kumbis actually. And he's always buy like meat, and then we'd have like the small time braai after
Oh,
school
you're
on a
not doing bush
Friday.
chows where you had to catch a pigeon. They're always coming with meat.
But it Vos rolls and then a 2 liter.
You used to make for those.
We used to make for the, go to the
Oh,
park.
okay.
And then Louis, because Louis had the money, no one touched Louis, bro.
Yeah.
Because like, you
Because they
tease
knew
Louis.
your soft time is
Now you
over.
can't eat force rolls.
Just leave Louis.
That's
Don't worry.
unfair.
Bring in tease me. Let's not.
How's that mood you?
As soon as you see your bra, I'm like, no, leave Luke.
I say Robby, I will eat.
Now we must wipe boys. Except we're going to sit here forever.
Yeah, bro.
That's the full
No,
story.
it's been really dope. That is the full story. Episode 1, imagine the rest. Aware.
Oh, wait.